I'm not gonna act like I'm a financial expert. However, I do have some rules that I set in place for myself in order to save the little money that I do have coming in. If you are new around here, my name is Kevin. I run this channel, King Kevon, and I give you guys motivational videos that you can take in order to grow your own careers, your goals, and your own aspirations. If you like what you like, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Other than that, let's get to saving that moolah. The first thing that's like very important to do is set up like auto transfers and like auto pay. Well, not auto pay. I forgot what the term is called, but when your job just sends your money directly to a bank, and honestly, most banks nowadays have this where after you get your paycheck, you can decide where it goes to, like like automatically transfers your paycheck. Direct deposit. That was the word I was looking for. But yeah, most banks have that. I mean, if you don't have a bank that has that, you probably also don't have a high yield savings account, which you should definitely get. Look into that. But a lot of the online banks have it. I know some people don't like online banks, but low-key in the world we're moving in, I'd suggest it. Chime and SoFi are the two ones that come up in the top of my head. I use SoFi and Ally. I use a lot of banks, really. But for my job, I just have it go straight to one bank, and then that bank just transfers it into my several accounts. And that's how it should be. Now, what you should do also is make your savings like harder to reach. Now, I don't mean like don't make it hard as in like if you actually need money for an emergency, you can't get it out. I mean, don't just have it where you like open your bank and you should like see it immediately. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of banks, it's automatically you're going to see both of them if you try to see like any one of your accounts. But I know for I have a bank called SoFi. I just said that earlier, where you can actually see your net worth, and that's normally how I see how much money I like have altogether. And with that, you can, at least in my bank, you can, it shows you all of your accounts. You can turn some off. So that way, you know that, okay, I have this bank account, but I can't see it. And the brain tricks you. If you can't see it, then you just don't have the money. Now, for me, myself, that's what works for me. I know for other people, especially if your bank doesn't have that, that's not going to work as well. I don't really want to suggest this, but this really low key worked for me when I didn't have like a credit card. Back when I didn't have a credit card and I had to spend everything on a debit card, the biggest way I saved money was by having two bank accounts by different like people. Obviously, both of them I had a savings and a checkings account on both platform, but I had one bank that was strictly for saving and one bank that was strictly for saving. I mean for spending. Wow, I'm butchering this like crazy. Sorry about this. Um, but more so, what I would do is just have all the money be sent to one bank, and from that bank, I would transfer the money to the savings bank, right? That would take probably about, I don't know, back then it was like a longer, it'd probably take like 3 business days. But now, honestly, it probably takes like 1 to 2. I'm gonna be completely honest. They transfer quick. But back then, that would be enough in order to detest me, big word, to not really spend the money like that. And honestly, that alone was good enough for me. After I moved it over, that just held it off and I was okay with that. Now after I got my credit card, everything kind of just went to the card. So that wasn't that kind of just broke it. But at the same time, that kind of just goes into my third point. Limit your credit card spending. Like I really want to push this. Do not use your credit card as heavy, especially with like credit checks and all that stuff. Horrible for you to be maxing out your credit card. You should not be doing that. So make sure you can stick to a budget. I have a budget. I don't really. My thing with my budget is I'll have like literal weeks where I'll spend like $20 at most. And then I'll have other weeks where I'll spend like $200. So it's like I can stick to a budget when necessary. You also have to remember there's times when your brain will want to rule out certain expenses, right? The biggest expense that I practically always rule out is gas for my car, right? I share this car with my brothers. And with that, there'll be random times when we'll put gas in the car. Sometimes I'll do it, sometimes my older brother will do it, sometimes my younger brother will do it. Somebody will put gas in this car. Now, whenever it's like I see it's low and I go fill it up with gas, I always rule out the expense because it's like, all right, well, this was a one time thing, maybe next week or the week after somebody else will get it. So, this doesn't really count towards my budget. Boom, that's a dog for my budget. Sometimes when I'm out with friends and I have to go out and eat, because obviously I get hungry, when I'm at, whatever fast food line, I'm thinking, well, I mean, I kind of need to eat for the day, so this doesn't really count. Boom, swipe the card, goes past my budget. One thing leads to another. Now I'm down $200 for the week. And it's always just the little things that you need to keep track of. Now, for bigger purchases, I always give myself this rule: do not buy it within the first 24 hours. Within the first 24 hours, you are going to be hit with that dopamine. You are going to see big purchase, big item, big old fancy item, monkey brain. Monkey brain one item, monkey brain one item now. Monkey brain needs item now. No, you don't. You're just feeding your dopamine. What I like to do is I'll always wait either 48 hours or 72 hours. Translate that into days. I'll probably wait like 2 to 3 days before actually buying something, because especially when I first started working my warehouse job and I got one of them fat checks, there'd literally be some nights I'd be laying in bed and I'd just be thinking, I mean, I could spend $600. What's $600 gonna do for me? And then I bought meta glasses, and then I got mics for my cameras, and I got this and I got that, and there was just a lot of unnecessary stuff. So you should always give yourself 24 hours. I do that now, and you don't understand how many purchases that I just have not gone through just for the mere fact of the next day will happen. It doesn't even have to be 24 hours. Like it will be like probably like 12 hours later. I'll just be like, yeah, I really didn't need that purchase. I'm so glad I didn't do that. There will be some purchases that even after those 48 to 73 hours that you'll still be like, yeah, yeah, I really want that. And then you'll buy it and then you'll actually get it. And maybe like a week later, you'll be like, yeah, I shouldn't have got that. That's me with those shirts that I bought. Low-key, they're like shipping right now. I still haven't received them. And I'm like, fuck, I should have not have let that gone through. I don't even think I can return them if I can, because they're like a limited edition thing. $420 down the. I'm rambling. I'm rambling. Back on topic. This really applies for like people who like actually get raises, or maybe if you're changing jobs from a lower paying job to a higher paying job. Don't let that budget increase like make your lifestyle more lavish. If honestly, I don't like listen, you don't have to live at bare minimum. I'm not saying to do that, but at the same time, just because you get like, an extra like $5 a raise or something like that, it's like you shouldn't be spending now. It's like, oh yeah, I got this raise now. So basically this thing is free. I'm living off my past income. Nah, man, you don't need it. And it really is those small purchases that will add up. Because the more that you excuse yourself and the more you're like, oh, this is just a small one time purchase, it's fine. If you're doing that 5 times a week, those small purchases become now a pretty big purchase, or not even pretty big, it could be medium. But depending on how frequent it is, it could be a big purchase to you. And again, everywhere in the world, you might have more spending income, you might have less spending income. It really depends on your situation, but for most people, you really can't afford spending that. If you're watching videos like these, you definitely shouldn't be spending every little cent you have. The key takeaway for this video is just saving money isn't ever really about, oh, how much money can I get away with spending? It's how much money you can spend and be fine with the little amount that you have left over. And that little amount you have left over, what are you doing with that? Now, I said earlier in the video about a high yield savings account. And honestly, that's where I put most of my money. But I know there's other people that invest into properties, invested into actual investments, the stock markets. There's people who do crypto, bitcoins. There's so many investments that you can do. And there is no right answer for a lot of them. But for most people, for most regular people like myself that just work a regular 9 to 5, I would just say just put it in a high yield savings account. Just make that your regular savings account, because regular savings account that have like what 0.01% interest, what am I going to do with that? What am I literally going to do with that? I got interest off of my, like, I had like $1,000 in the account one time, and I forgot how much money I got back. I think it was like $5 with a 0.01, bro. I think you would have literally got 2 cents with $1,000 in the account, maybe 10 cents. I don't know. It's actually pathetic. So yeah, if you want my opinion, your regular savings account should be a high yield savings account, and that's how all my bank accounts work. All my bank accounts, I don't have a single one that isn't a high yield savings account. I'm gonna be completely honest. I bank with Discover, Ally, and SoFi. Yeah, that's more than most people, but at the same time, I get good interest. 3% in the last like couple years. I mean, it fluctuates obviously, but it's never going to be like 0.01. So yeah, anyway, that was it from me. I really did ramble a little bit on this video. I apologize. I'm a bit tired. As you can see, it's still the same scenery. So it's currently, it's 2:37. I don't have analog anymore. I have an actual clock, so I can't read it. But yeah, that's me. If you like what you like, please subscribe. If you didn't, leave a comment telling me how much you still love the video, because I love good comments. And yeah, 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are back into this grind, and we are back into this.